Greetings, great things. It is Q Talks once again. This is Black Swan Theory, and I believe we are at our 10th episode, 10th topic. So that is fun, that is exciting, and I am very grateful to you if you have joined me here at this point or have been with me throughout the other topics. Thank you for being part of this community. Today, we are talking about the fact that you don't owe self abandonment to anyone. Okay? Let's be clear. Choosing yourself means honoring your needs, right? Your peace and your voice. For me, there is so much that I could say on this topic, so much so that if you guys want me to make another video, go in depth on this, or you have any specific questions, or anything that you want me to focus on and explain, I can do so, because I have a lot of experience in this, more than I actually tend to share with people. So when you make the decision to choose yourself in your own life, that can look like a lot of things to different people. But at the end of the day, it means that you are prioritizing your well being, your overall well being, right? And you are making sure that in what you are doing, you are considering how you are feeling or how you are going to feel and what impact is going to come as a result of that on your life. Many of us were taught that love means self sacrifice, right? But that cannot be at the cost of yourself. It is unnatural, it is unsustainable to put others before you, put other circumstances, whether it's people or things, before you, at a detriment to yourself, at a loss to yourself. Why? Because whatever it is that you think is so important that you need to give it so much energy, where is that energy coming from? I'll wait. Is it not coming from you? So if you don't put equal, if not more, amounts of energy into yourself, where do you think you're going to get the energy from to keep pouring into these things that you think are so much more important than you? So much so that you allow yourself to be depleted, to have less, so others can have more. How does that make sense? And how will those others continue to have more when one day you will be nothing and have nothing to give? This may be hitting harsh, and I think this has a different tone to my other videos, but this is the vibe, honey, and I'm speaking from source today. Call it channeling, call it what you will. Some of you really needed to hear that. Even in some ways, I may be talking to myself, but I don't feel like I am in that place right now because of everything that I have experienced and been through and where I currently find myself in my life. I am very self-centered, right? Self-focused. And even that term self-centered, we were taught to think that that is a bad thing, but how can it be bad to be centered on self? To be centered in self? Where should you be centered if it's not here? So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that one. Boundaries are a form of love. They are not cruelty or an expression of cruelty. When you have boundaries, because it starts with having them, knowing, what your boundaries are in anything, right? When you have these boundaries and then you have the courage to express them and to state them and to enforce them, you are not only solidifying your own worth to yourself, right? and showing yourself how important you are and making sure that that is first, you're also letting other people know where they stand with you, and again, where you stand with yourself, right? In the things that you tolerate and the things that you don't tolerate. Having boundaries is a loving act because it goes back to my previous point about sustainability. If you are in a relationship where you allow your boundaries to be disrespected, you are either depleting yourself, which again, you are going to become something that is going to be of no value to whatever you think is more valuable than you, because that's why you're allowing your boundaries to be crossed, right? But continually doing that is not going to keep you in the same place. You are going to get depleted from that. Not only that, when you allow your boundaries to be known and expressed for other people to also choose whether or not they can fall in line with that, you are being loving to not only yourself but also them, because you are doing everything within your means to make sure that this relationship is healthy for the both of you and is respectful to you and therefore respectful to them. You're not being false and you're not giving more or, taking more than you should. You're letting the lines be clear so everybody knows where they stand, right? There are a reason why we have these terms, because they mean these things in a, you know, in a like hypothetical sense, in a metaphysical sense, whatever you want to call it. When you have relationships like that, they can only flourish and grow because they are actually rooted in true love, right? Your boundaries are a reflection of love. Love for yourself, love for the other, to want to come together in truth, in health. You know, I hope you get where I'm coming from. Choosing you is how you teach others to love you properly. We've all heard that saying, the age old saying, you can't love anyone else if you don't love yourself. And it goes the same way. You can't even be loved by someone else if you don't love yourself. When you choose yourself, when you love yourself, and you decide that you are worth what you know you are worth from within, right? When you make that choice, there is nothing that can come in the way of that. And there is nothing that you will allow to dissuade you from that, to take you away from that, because it's a decision, it's a bottom line. And it comes back to your health. This doesn't mean that you are choosing yourself in a way that's, again, destroying others. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, and I know many of my black swans, we don't have that nature anyway. What we are talking about here is not allowing yourself, right? Your boundaries, your dignity, your self respect, your self esteem to be taken down by others because you want to be helpful to them, good to them, loving to them, loyal to them, more than you want to do that for yourself. Because you want to be there for them more than you want to be there for yourself. Love begins here. It begins with you. If you don't have the capacity to love yourself totally first, where or how do you believe that you will have the capacity or gain the capacity to love another person? Really consider that. This space, this community is for those reclaiming themselves. Self respect isn't selfish, it's sacred. This space is for those of you reclaiming yourselves. I love you so much. Thank you for being with me and joining me as I open this community to you and this space. We are really, August is flying. Well, the podcast is coming. I think I'm just going to launch it on here first and then see about putting it on other platforms. But the main difference will just be hopefully a lot better audio and maybe a set background. If it's not a set background, we will have pretty much the same. We will have like rotating environments, like sometimes outside, sometimes inside, but it will all be kind of like the same kind of length of a podcast. Yeah. So I am looking forward to that. I hope you are too. Let me know if you are. And as always, the space is always open for you to comment on any video, whether it's this one, whether it's an old one. I always want to talk to you. I always want to hear from you. I always want you to know that this is a home for you. Okay? See you soon. Speak to you soon. Love you so much. Take care.